in your Instagram videos, you love to do this, like bounding onto a bed in a hotel, and you get some sky when you do it. Like you got some ups. It is pretty stellar to watch you do it because like
I launch, I cheat.
You really what?
Yeah, I do a chair like little cushions that are in the hotel room. I take like a launch. I don't come right from the floor.
Okay, that's my magic is ruined for me now. I totally thought
so sorry, guys.
You were just getting mad air. Y'all gotta see this. Like follow her on Instagram, like right now. Like, literally everyone follow her.
That's never gonna happen for me.
No, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Roger, do you have any like rituals that you do at shows to kind of get yourself ingratiated to your hotel room? Do you bounce on a bed? Do you kick a door? What do you do?
I generally tend to jump off of a chair and hit my head on the ceiling of every hotel room. It's a ritual.
Okay.
You should try it sometime, Patricia. I'm just saying.
Why would it be so unoriginal? You already do it.
No, I'm 5'5". For me to have to like hit the ceiling in anything is like there's like propulsion of some sort. There's compressors, there's fuel, there's something. It doesn't just naturally happen. Even with a trampoline, I'm
Too many
like
cruciferous vegetables, perhaps?
yes. Like every seat for me is first class. Like, you know, on a plane. It's like, oh, the legroom. Oh, so people are complaining about it. Put my feet up.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, see, he's vertically perfected.
No, I have no. I have no rituals. I have no to prepare for. No,
okay.
I try to just like wake up and work out. I guess.
That's a ritual. That counts. That counts.
Go fast in the morning. I guess.
You have a cold brew coffee?
Keep going to that well.
Coffee?
I have coffee. Yeah, but these are not rituals. These are what everybody does. Every people does.
Every people does.
Every persons do. Yeah. I mean, this is like. I'm sure I'm blowing all your minds. I drink coffee in the morning.
That's how Sonic is.
You can too.
I love it. So we are back for this wonderful panel that we don't understand why it's called what it's called. Sonic versus Zelda. Yeah.
Sonic versus Zelda. Or is it Zelda versus Sonic? I can't remember. Is it ladies first? I don't know.
It should be, but it's definitely Sonic versus Zelda. I'm claiming alphabeticals as the culprit, but Zelda versus Sonic would be polite.
Better. Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, if we were to fictionally write that game, where are we starting? From Zelda's perspective or Sonic's perspective?
I mean, I feel like you can start in Hyrule. That would be a good place to start.
I agree.
It's very pretty.
Not as pretty as the Green Hill Zone.
And the verses begin.
I'm going top rope, everybody. Here it comes. Jump up on the table. Don't hit my head on the ceiling.
Unfortunately, he hit his head on the ceiling and he came down unconscious. And
That's
I just
true.
moved out of the way.
Yes, exactly.
He slips and falls. Breaks his back.
I can see it. All right, so what we'll build is like, okay, so Sonic has access to his special energies that somehow interact with the Triforce, and the Kingdom of Hyrule now has to hire Dr. Robotnik to help figure out something, and now we have a game.
Okay.
Right?
Make it happen.
Okay, all right.
Just hire us, please.
Double check. Listen, because we keep getting this panel, we're going to make this into something at some point.
What were any of you expecting with Sonic versus Zelda?
Yeah.
Like, were you expecting like, oh, cool, like it's a fight to the finish?
Yeah.
Like, that's an interesting panel. You were thinking, what was it?
Dance battle.
Dance battle. Okay, she's winning.
Yeah.
She's winning.
Raise your hand if you want this to go into a dance battle. Just out of curiosity. Wow.
This is gonna go.
Or a Smash Bros tournament? Okay, all right. Percy's got thoughts.
Sonic would win.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know, Percy. I don't know about that now.
We all know this. Okay. Don't be looking at me like that. Yes, it's like
Looking at you like what?
It's like a WWE kind of like
right?
SmackDown.
Oh yeah.
Spin down.
Open your eyes.
Okay. I can't when I'm spinning. No, we've done like I think 3 of these panels, and they're all called Sonic versus Zelda, and we're always like, what is it versus? Like, why not Sonic and Zelda?
No.
Just have a lovely chat with wonderful people. No, Sonic versus Zelda.
You got to make it more interesting.
Zelda team up.
Yeah.
There you go. Why not team up? There you go.
Yeah.
It's positivity. I know. Percy's just like, duh.
I like it. So, considering that you guys have such a prolific experience with these characters, bring them to life, and engaging with fans that love them, is there something interesting that you can tell us about your respective characters that we don't know? and it's just maybe headcanon for you as the actor?
How do we know what you don't know?
That is the question. It's you've never told us. You yourself, this is your thing, and this is us getting to walk out here and be like, now we know Sonic and Zelda. Now.
The characters themselves or our experiences playing the characters?
It is your
Anything?
choice.
Okay. All right, I have something. Nobody would know this, but I have become, over the last 7 years, a connoisseur of Zelda tattoos. Because, not a connoisseur, but I've seen so many all over the world, and I feel like I've probably seen more Zelda tattoos than like anybody. It's crazy.
I respect that. I respect that.
And I love it so much.
That is awesome. Make some noise for that. Yeah. Does anyone in this room have a Zelda tattoo? Don't be shy. Not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet.
I hear you. I hear
I've
you.
seen a few fabulous ones this weekend. Where is it?
Versus.
That's one of those things that nobody knows. Nobody knows where
It's on
Sonic
Sonic.
Studio and
Yes.
a Zelda tattoo.
Roger, what about you? For Sonic, what's something that is maybe a little headcanon, but we don't know it?
Headcanon mean like canon for me. Meaning
Yeah.
This is what this character emulates.
Absolutely.
Chili dog intolerance.
Wow.
Yeah, you never even know. I literally got a gasp and a mouth cover. Don't say that!
Yeah, she is in the back. That's going to be a headline tomorrow.
Chili dog.
Does Sonic like Michigan hot dogs?
What is
That's the thing.
What is a
I think
Michigan
it has
hot
chili
dog?
on it, doesn't? Isn't that what a Michigan hot dog is? It has chili on it.
You're talking Chicago dog people.
I
They
know.
don't-
The thing is, like, I'm from Michigan, and I've heard this in Canada and other places, and I'm like, what is a Michigan hot dog?
It's just a chili dog, and every city or state is trying to make it their own, right?
Absolutely.
Like it's like,
Yes.
oh, that's an Idaho dog.
Well, does Sonic like it? Does Sonic like the
What's an
chili
Idaho dog?
dogs?
Has chili on it.
Yeah.
So it's a chili dog. No.
Sonic dog, really.
Yes, exactly. It's Sonic dog. That's what we should be doing.
Yes. I like. Okay. All right.
It should be called Sonic Dogs versus Zelda Tattoos. That would make a lot more sense. That would be a much better panel. And then nobody would show up because you're like, I have no idea what that is.
Or worse, everyone shows up because
Yeah,
I have
true.
no idea what this is.
We can get a Zelda tattoo while eating a chili dog?
That actually sounds awesome.
It's like a Tuesday meeting.
Well, I think it's fair for us to kind of go back to your origin stories and tell us how exactly you got associated with these wonderful roles, considering that for a vast majority of the characters' creation, you weren't able to do so because they were video game characters that didn't speak. So how did you get involved with Zelda and Sonic?
He started with Zelda and Sonic.
Okay.
You can answer.
Z first.
It's Zelda
Alphabet
versus
backwards.
Sonic.
Ladies first.
Zelda and Sonic.
Z. I'm always last, but now I'm first.
No,
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
cool.
Up is down.
Great.
Dogs and cats living together. Massive stereo. Thank you, Ghostbusters fan.
So I got involved with this franchise through an audition. I didn't know what it was. It was a secret one, and particularly secret because Zelda hadn't had a voice before, and so there would have been no way of guessing that that potential breakdown with the bleached script and everything could possibly be Zelda that I was auditioning for. So that was a particularly large surprise when I did the auditions, the callbacks, got a role in a game, was excited to have made a good impression, and then signed some NDAs. And then the first thing to do was the trailer for the 2016 E3. And it was going in for that I signed the stuff, and they said, this is Zelda. And then it was just like, yeah, I melted. But I'm back.
And before you answer, Roger, I have to know, is it from a business
So for me, when I started out, it was... Sorry.
No, but when you are blind auditioning for something like that, is there a freedom to that audition, or is there like something where once you find out what it is, you kind of have a trepidation? Yeah, that's right.
He's asking you.
Oh, he's asking me?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, I thought you were asking.
This was dovetailing off of
Yes,
your answer.
yes.
I was just thinking
I believe.
Frontiers of the Kingdom. I was going for that Sonic Frontiers of the Kingdom.
Oh, that's right.
That was in my head. A trepidation. Yeah. I mean, I think once you find out that you might be involved in something that's iconic, you know that it's going to come with just a large bag of things naturally.
Of course.
You know, this long history that had already been, I guess, like 35 years by that point. So my solution for that was doing a combination of things that I'd done as an actor for a while, which is when you are an actor, you go from the script that you have, you draw from the things that you know, and you try to make it immediate and important for that character when the character is speaking. You can't play the past. You can research into the past to get great information about what you might want to bring to a character, but the character has to be coming from the script, the director, the team that's right in front of you. So felt like a combination of those things was what I chose to do. And I was happy to have been an actor for, I guess, like 10 years by that point, so I felt ready to take on a character like that.
Nice.
And I mean, obviously it's a lot of pressure, but a lot of things are. By 10 years, you've done a lot of up and downs.
Right. I love it. Roger, the bevy of questions are now yours.
Okay, first of all, we've covered this in the past, and I think the panel from here on out, and I would love for you to make this happen.
Okay.
Instead of Sonic versus Zelda,
Yes.
it's Zelda and Sonic, Breath of the Hedgehog. You came up with it because you just did the whole thing. You're like,
I know, I'm
you're
texting programming
Sonic
right
and
now.
Zelda Frontiers, so like Frontiers of the Kingdom. We were playing around with this, and then I think I had said like maybe 2 panels ago, I was like, it's a lot better than like Breath of the Hedgehog, and we were like, oh, we have to make that
Actually,
something.
that
Yes.
is,
So start the fan art.
yeah, right now.
Not deviant art.
Wild breath of the
Yes,
hedgehog.
Wild Breath of the Hedgehog.
Which is self-explanatory.
Yeah.
How the,
Which
breath
would
of the
smell like
hedgehog.
chili dogs.
Yes. From Idaho.
Yes. So you know, you guys ever like walking around like you're in like a park or something like that, and you see like somebody's like, help wanted, and they've got those little tabs at the bottom of like the piece of paper, and then you pull off the number, that kind of thing, then you take it with you and you call. That's how I got the voice of Sonic.
Wow.
It was just looking for someone who can go fast. And I pulled the tab.
And you slowed down
Pulled it first.
long enough to see that sign.
Exactly. I slowed down just long enough.
Nice.
No, the boring answer is I got involved in an audition. It was the same thing. It wasn't a blind audition, though I'll dovetail. One of my favorite blind auditions was for a character that I walked in. They weren't telling us anything, and they're like, okay, and we've changed all the names of the characters. And you're like, okay. And they're like, so you're not going to know it. Get into the booth. They hand us the audition copy. And the first line is my character named Bob is saying to another character named Larry, listen to me, Larry, it's over. Gotham will not fall. I was like, what game is that? So we're not going to change Gotham, but we're going to change Batman and Joker to Bob and Larry or something like that. Like, yeah, I didn't think that through. We probably should have thought about that. I'm like, so this is for Batman? Like, no, not at all. Okay. Yeah, that was a blind audition. That was just like, really, guys, come on.
Yeah, they should have had a mask on with eye holes.
I'm gonna get into the Bob-mobile and get out of here. Not working, guys. No, but
It's a blind. And
yes,
that's
but
what
there you go.
Yeah.
Blind as a Bob. No, we showed up, and it was for me. It was just we showed up, and it was a typical like casting call, and it was based in LA. And a number of us are called in. That's how casting works. And everybody sees the same kind of images. They were showing images of past versions of Sonic the Hedgehog and past audio references and that kind of thing. And then you get in and you work with your directors and your writers, and they tell you this is what we're thinking about doing. This is where we want to go now. It was honestly the same thing with Batman, with Arkham Origins specifically. That we were looking at things going like the voice prints that we were working with was how do we make it be something that's connected to what Kevin and Mark had established in their roles. And so you're always kind of cognizant of that, but then there's always little tweaks and things like that. And this was no different for me back in 2009. It would have been that or if not earlier than that, maybe for all I know. It might have even been the end of 2008, because we would have started working on rewriters and colors for Sonic back in 2009, somewhere in there.
That's great.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but yeah, no, it's like it's a boring answer. Like people are like, how did you, It's also my favorite question when people are like, you need to tell Sega that and I'm like, there is no like, I don't just. Hello, Mr. or Mrs. Sega? It's Roger Craig. No, Roger Craig. No, not Ben Schwartz. I mean, Chris Pratt. No, it's like it's just you work very like it's so weird. Where it's insular. I think a lot of people think it's this big dramatic thing, or it's like no. I show up to a casting and yeah, and next thing you know, you just say, well, what do you want me to try? I want to sound like this, They go, no, do this, go higher, lower, that kind of thing. So yeah.
What I love is the modesty of how you explain your talents and them being like acquired. Like, this is something to be celebrated, sir. Like, you're so very like, I just kind of showed up and I did the thing. That's one of the things I love about you so much, because you're so very modest. I think we should celebrate you.
Drunk as a skunk.
No, we should celebrate you.
I'm not,
more.
by the way.
In
It's a
fact,
joke.
6 days ago, I think there was a reason to celebrate you very specifically. And I'd like to bring that up right now.
No cavities.
So, guys, I need y'all to do me a favor.
Oh my
Help me
gosh.
in singing happy belated birthday to Ron.
Wait. But if I may,
Yeah.
because this will be fun. It'll be a cacophony of chaos.
Let's do it.
There's no way that, because I do this every now and then. If it's a family friend or that kind of thing. So
Of course.
Hey, you know, a nephew's got a birthday, that kind of thing. I always say, okay, well, sing it as Sonic, but like Sonic, you do everything fast. So if you're gonna make these poor people do this,
Are we up for
the
it? Are we
fastest
feeling it?
version that all of you can muster,
Okay.
but in perfect unison.
Okay.
Or I walk. I'm out
This is our rhythm.
after that.
Okay? This is our rhythm. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Faster! Happy birthday, dear. Happy birthday to you. Yes!
Well done. What
That's what
happened?
I'm talking about.
Well done. Actually, it was pretty good, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guys, go ahead and
All
start
right.
lining up to get ready to ask some questions. That was the cue. Well, remember the instructions? Okay? We all agree on the instructions still? Yes? Yes? Excellent. While these folks are lining up, you don't want to make them wait. So feel free, ask your first question.
Alright, well, hello, I'm extremely nervous right now. It is such an
That is your
honor.
name?
Yeah,
Extremely
it's nice
nervous
to meet
right
you.
now? Hello, I'm extremely nervous right
Talk into the
now.
microphone a
Sorry.
little bit more, because we're not catching it.
Oh, there we go.
Is this
Hello.
Checked, alright. My name is Chris.
Yes.
I am extremely honored to see both of you. You are heroes of mine. I was
Oh my gosh.
obsessed with Sonic as a kid, so thank you for that as a child. But my question will be
You're
for
welcome.
Miss Summersett.
So for
So
me,
it's fine, it's fine. All right, next question. Next question.
Alright, so Miss Summersett, do you think you would be best friends with Zelda, and why do you think that?
I've thought about this before. I would definitely have an affinity for her personality. You know, I would feel very strongly about how awesome she was, but I wonder if she'd be a little too busy to be best friends with much of anybody.
Yeah.
She'd be so, it'd be hard. She'd be a little
She's a
remote.
workaholic, it's not her fault though.
So I don't know. We'd have to try and see in some other fictitious universe. Yes.
That is very interesting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Isaac. This question
Chris
is...
Isaac. Thank you. Yes.
Oh, well done. Look at the connection. All right.
Just love that.
This question is for Roger.
Yes.
There have been, let me think.
He's counting on his fingers for people who can't see. Isaac is counting.
6 other voices for Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Is there one of those that particularly inspired your, like, something that you gathered a lot from to voice?
Honestly, classic Sonic.
Classic Sonic?
Yeah.
I can do a
It's a
pretty
bad
good
joke.
impression of him.
Okay. I bet you I can do a better one. You go first. Let me hear your classic Sonic. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Remember here, you're at the Sonic versus Zelda panel. So here it goes. You ready?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's the cheesiest joke I do, and I'm glad that you started it with it. You're like, I do it good. I was like, oh, please do it. Do it right. Do it right.
Yeah.
No. Again, because the boring answer is just sort of that it's like I'm listening to my director. Like even to this very day, I walk in, and it happens even with Sonic. Now I will walk in for certain projects, and Jack Fletcher, who has been my director for all things Sonic since day one for me back in 2009, 2010. He will give us like new directions. They'll finesse things. There's stuff that we do for like some of the Lego releases that have been happening recently. That kind of some of the ads that are coming out for that we maybe skew a little bit more towards like colors and even maybe a little more strident even than what we did in colors. It's always going to be what does my director want from me. So I approach it like that every single time. So it wasn't so much that I was paying attention to what had been done or trying to emulate anything as much as I just listened to what are we doing now and what do you want from me, and trying to just finesse that to the best of my abilities.
Yeah.
That said, if you're trusting in your director and your producers and your writers and that kind of thing, they're always going to have canon in mind. They're always going to have previous performances, and they're not going to stray too far, you know, because they just know if it's completely off-putting, then it doesn't serve the franchise.
Yeah.
So it's always that. But yeah, no, I try not to think at all ever.
Except when he tells you what to do.
What's that?
Except for when he tells you what to do.
Without a doubt, yeah, because that is the job. I mean, it's this weird thing. It's such a fun job, but
Yeah,
it
if
is
you
a
don't
job.
do what your boss tells you to do, you're gonna get fired.
Pretty much. That is how it works. I was like, no, I have an idea. So, yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. Great question, Eliza. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. And nice impression. Keep working on it, though. I think everybody heard you gotta work on it. Kidding.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Jacob. Roger, big fan of your work on that one Pizza Hut commercial and
thank you.
every background character
That
right
one Pizza Hut commercial. Thank you.
That's right.
You did great.
I just had to ask you, you voiced the same character for like a bunch of different companies, Disney, Cartoon Network, Lego, Sega. What's your favorite booth experience, or like how does the booth experience in each of those like differ?
Oh my gosh. Well, every day behind a VO mic is a great day. It just really is. Like it's the work itself is a blast. The acquisition of the work is the work. Like trying to get a job, like you were saying, after 10 years, you face a lot of ups and downs, and you're just getting rejected all the time in this business. You're just constantly being passed over for whatever reason. So I don't know. It's really hard to think of like. You mentioned Disney and 2013 planes and being a huge aviation buff as a little boy growing up, and a huge Disney nerd as a little boy, and then a grown man getting to do anything Disney, and then being a Disney villain in a thing that was supposed to be straight to DVD and then got a theatrical release was like a dream come true. So like all the time that I got to spend in Disney Toon Studios and just doing character voices and things like that, it's an amazing experience. So it's hard to pick a favorite moment, but yeah, no, I mean really and truly, like unless something's going horrifically wrong,
Right.
when you're in a voiceover
You like
session,
it.
you're having fun.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's kind of part of it. Usually it's fun because everybody wants that positive energy. But no, I don't really have a favorite one. No, I don't. Sorry, that's a horrible answer for me. Want to hear my classic Sonic impression? It gets so much better. Thank you, though. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
Big fan of both of your work, so much. Here's my question. Have you ever been given a voice direction or a line or something for a job, whether it's for these characters or any characters? You're just like, what?
I mean, okay, yeah, probably. I mean, I suppose I can think of some confusing directions that I've been giving. Like, for example, on a performance capture stage where you have several directors, but they don't necessarily see eye to eye. One of them might be like a cinematographer, and the other is an action director. And one of them comes up and says, I need you to go really fast and hit your mark there, and get there by like 5 seconds. And then the other one comes up directly afterwards and says, slow it down, just go nice and slow. And you're like, hey. And you know, stuff like that can occur on sets. And then you have to sort of, I guess, marry those two ideas, which essentially means to do the same thing you did last time. I have no idea. But yeah, things happen that you have to kind of try to adjust to and just change it up a little bit. So you're like, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. You guys need to figure that out.
Try it out.
Very early in my career, I was working on a game. It's only day 2. Holy cow! Very early in my career, I was working on a game, and I'm the voice of you're a pilot in this World War II shooter game kind of thing, right? And you heard this answer, and I've answered because it's just too good. They did write it, but you can't write this stuff. And so we're going through the script, and it's a lot of like, check 6, like he's on my starboard side, like all these different things. You're doing all that stuff, and then we finally, so you're the voice of the plane that you, as the player, are flying. So it's a lot of like asking your squad mates to help you out. And we get to this one line, and I look up at the director and the writer, and I go, really? Next one? You sure about this? And they're like, yeah, that's it. And I'm like, I'm gonna say it as written. Like, yep. And I'm like, okay. Somebody get this guy off my rear, I can't take this pounding much longer. Somebody get this guy off my rear, I can't take this pounding much longer. Like, don't read it like that. I'm like, no, don't write it like that. So that will go down forever for me. I'm just like, that's the moment. Yes, and I've answered that question a couple of times, but I'm just like, no, it's too good to be untrue.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Too good to be good.
Too big, good to good, yeah. I don't think it made it into the finished version of the game. I'm like, you know, you're gonna be a meme.
Yeah.
Before memes even existed back then, but yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
This is clearly a question for me. I love it's Sonic cosplay, right?
Oh, hi. Ironically, my name is Lincoln. Roger, just want to say, huge fan of your work. Is back.
You're not in cosplay of Sonic.
I am.
Don't lie.
I'm kidding. No, thank you, Lincoln.
Yeah, it's super good. But I'm nervous again.
Here comes the butt.
Yeah. Patricia. So was it Nintendo's idea for the British accent, or was it your idea for Zelda?
So when I auditioned for that part, I did offer a sort of RP accent for my audition, having no idea what I was auditioning for.
What is RP? Explain to them.
Received pronunciation, so kind of, I would say like, it's not a neutral Brit, like a neutral educated style of British that's, it's got the sounds in there, but it's not sort of too regional, you know, for any one thing. So that's what and there was, I think in the actual specs of the game audition, it was like, Mid-Atlantic, UK fantasy-based, or neutral English. Like it just like was like do what you want. So I was like, oh, I guess this is a princess character. I don't really know much about it, but I'm like, I guess it's a princess character because I auditioned for several of the roles, and for that one, I gave her that voice, and they chose it. And after they chose it, I was like, oh my, this is Zelda. Can I learn some Hylian for you? Like, is there? And they're like, no, we got what we want. This is where we're going. So that's the long answer. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lincoln.
Great, thank you. Hello.
Hi, I'm Mal, and I just wanted to say to both of you, thank you so much for being a part of like me and my brother's childhood. You made it awesome. You both are so cool.
Thank you. My goodness.
So my question is for both of you, as a person with anxiety and everything, if you're ever anxious before like a part or anything, what do you guys do to just kind of calm down and like just kind of calm your nerves?
It doesn't always work. I've done a lot of stage productions. I actually know actors who spent their entire careers on opening nights puking backstage before every production. Like, anxiety is a funny thing, but I think one of the ways that you can work through is by simply going through the motions sometimes. That's not for everybody, but when it comes to acting, if it's inhibiting you too much so that you can't do the work, you've got to find, that's part of your job, is to figure out how it's going to work for you. Also, might be the roles that you're taking aren't the right ones for you, but mostly, anxiety is a funny thing. Like, everybody's got their different ways of dealing and coping with it. I mean, I do breathing exercises. I gotta be careful how much caffeine I'm drinking before certain projects. If it's something that's gonna be like live for a long time and I'm gonna get like so much adrenaline. So be careful what you eat, try to get sleep, things like that. So, and checking in, and there's that loop that can happen in your head, that anxiety loop. Done a lot of therapy actually to sort of figure out what I'm saying to myself in my head and how to kind of change the narrative. So, I don't know, some of that might just be like getting older with time and you sort of learn yourself, but...
Wisdom.
Yeah, but I would say, like, you know, anxiety is not, it's not a unique thing. Like, we're human, and it's really normal to be anxious about stuff, and it's so worth working through it, whatever that is for you, so that you can operate with, like, less fear and things. So I wish you all the best with that. Mm-hmm. We all need that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it was accurate. I'm trying to think of, like, there's everything you said is spot on. It's like it's perfectly normal. I think anytime that you're feeling something like that, like if it is based on something that's important in your life, you're going to be anxious. You're going to have a lot of adrenaline. You're going to have some things that are kind of cooking up within you because it's important to you. Which is like, that's how you know. Okay, this is how. Ironically, this is how I know when I'm alive. Like, is that clearly I'm feeling anxious about this because this matters to me. So what a great discovery that I've found something that means something to me that should be inspirational, and instead it comes up as puke or at times. But then I always think of, like, there was an analogy that a guy in the military was talking about, having to climb these cliffs with 80 pounds of gear on them, and they're doing all this stuff on these ropes, and they knew that someone out there was a sniper that was doing everything this sniper could do to try to make it so that these guys wouldn't get up the cliff. And this person interviewing him was saying, how do you do that? Like, how do you, with knowing that there's just somebody out there trying to end you and he said, we have this motto of like, 3 feet out. It's like the arm span that you got. And he said, the only thing that I'm in control of in the entirety of my existence is 3 feet in front of me, 3 feet behind me, 3 feet below me, 3 feet above me. So I look for the next handhold and I pull on it. That's the only thing. I can't control the guy who's way out there. And I just thought, what a beautiful analogy. There's so many things in life that if you just look at what's going on and going, oh, I'm nervous. It's like, okay, hang on. There's only so much I can do. I can control my response to it, and I can acknowledge that this matters to me. And then the one thing that I heavily do, especially when it's in an acting situation, is I rely on my director. I sit there and I go, I can trust in the fact that that person wants to do well at their job, which means they want to get the best out of me. So I'm just going to lean on them. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to ask, what is this about? What is it? And then get a great sense of like, okay, I can do that. As opposed to going, I hope what I do is liked. It's like, that'll drive you nuts. But, because you really can't do much about it. You can just go, what do you want me to do? I can do that. And I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. But I cannot control beyond that. Once it's out there, I can't control if they like it, if they don't. I really can't. So I'm just going to rely and just focus on the 3 feet around me, or that kind of a thing. I don't know. It's 3 feet out is a bad analogy for voice. But
It's beautiful.
no, but I always think about that because anxiety is just we're always battling that. We're all, like I said, we're always getting rejected.
Yeah.
You always feel weird. You always feel like you're not good enough. It's like, oh, nobody's gonna like me for this role. Nobody's gonna like what I'm doing. I suck at this. They're gonna find out I don't know what I'm doing. Everybody that's out there right now is doing that. I promise you.
I'm gonna add one more thing. I like to think about things in drafts, because if you're striving for perfection, it's very overwhelming and it never happens.
Yeah.
The only way you learn is by failing, accepting that you have all these little failures and learning from them. And so if you approach even roles or parts or auditions, or again, like life steps, like you get over anxiety when you fall down and you get back up and you're like, oh, I didn't die, like that's how I figured it out. So it's just like the baby steps, as you're saying, like the 3 feet in front of you. It's like you focus on the things that you can control right in front of you, and you move forward that way. And you get probably a further distance than you would if you're like, be all, end all the time, because it's not how life works, ever. It's always messy.
Think about being a kid and learning how to tie your shoes.
Yeah.
Like it's a really big deal. The first time you tie your shoes, like a really big deal. Now you're grown up and you just don't think twice about it. It's like, well, yeah, it's true. Although I concentrate.
Yeah.
I concentrate a lot.
I throw my shoes away when I get
There you go,
tired.
exactly. No, but it's like everything kind of goes that way. It's like the first time you're doing it, you should be nervous, or it's just to be expected, because your brain's going, we don't know what to do, and we don't know about this, and so we don't like that. So danger, Will Robinson, run. It's like, but then you tie your shoes and you're like, oh, that's all it is, and then you like graduate to double knots.
Yeah.
Which I still haven't yet. I haven't figured it out. Teach me how to do a double knot someday, please.
And thank you for asking your question.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah, no,
Thank
that's
you.
not questions.
Yeah, nicely done.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I have a question for Roger.
Yes.
So you've done a lot of you've done Sonic for a while, and I was wondering, because there's a few there's a lot of games and media with them in it, and some of them are a little different, or just like what is your personal favorite performance of a specific Sonic from a game or specific media, if you have one?
Oh man. Well, princess kissing Zelda or Sonic, yeah, was always that's a good one. That's it's inspiring. No. Oh my god.
You know the piece, yeah.
No, the bad answer is honestly the next one. The next one.
Right,
Like the
right.
idea that I get to do this again. You know what I mean? Like we've still got more coming, and it's kind of like, man, it's just amazing to me that I get to keep visiting this role. It's I don't know. I enjoyed working with Generations. If I think back to something that I've done, I enjoyed working with Generations, just because playing with the classic and the modern Sonic was kind of a fun thing to visit. And then Frontiers is just another example of just who would have thought, showing up for that, here we go, not you're not doing it that way, what? And then having that happen. So yeah, for me it's the next one, because they still are coming up with different stories to tell in that franchise and in that universe. There's never been a better time to be a Sonic fan. There's just You got Sonic Prime, you got Devin Mack doing that, you got Ben Schwartz in the cinematic universe, you've got me doing stuff for video games. Like it's just crazy to think that we're still creating all of this new content and that it's still going and it's stronger than it's ever been, which is crazy. Some 33 years in right now. I think 2026 is the 35th anniversary of that character, so it's crazy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, generations, you got to voice Sonic and classic Sonic, so.
I love it. There you go. Exactly. Time to scramble some Mega Man, supersonic style.
Thank you very much.
So we're in the last 5 minutes. So
Okay.
is it possible after your question that we get all the little ones that are in line?
Yes, good call.
Pretty please.
And we'll go quickly.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will make this quick. Try to do speed run. Hi, very nice to meet you both. My
Nice to meet
name's
you.
Sebastian. First,
Horrible bag, by the way. Horrible bag.
I got it from Mexico. It says Felicidades on it, and he looks so angry, and that's why I bought it.
Felicidades.
I love it so much. But I do have a question. This is for both of you. You're both a part of games with just absolutely phenomenal soundtracks. I wondered if there was a specific game within either of your series or the other ones, if you like them with a really good like soundtrack that you listen to a lot, or if not, which video game soundtrack you like. Oh gosh, boy.
That's a big one.
That's such a big, large question. We're both music lovers. I actually, when I think of Breath of the Wild soundtrack and what that did to the Zelda franchise, like that particular interesting music, I think back to that a lot, and it actually plays in my head a lot. And my favorite thing is honestly just people coming up with their ocarinas and playing like Zelda's Lullaby or other songs. So. I have a friend with an ocarina. I'll bring her up. Oh, please,
Nice.
please do. I'm so glad we had this conversation.
I mean, the iconic, just like Green Hill Zone song to me is like, it just starts there and it's like, it's so iconic.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Cora, and have you ever been to a Hedgehog cafe before?
Whoa.
Okay, there's a Hedgehog cafe. Like they serve hedgehogs?
No,
Okay.
like a bunch of pet hedgehogs.
It's like cat cafes, right?
Yeah.
Where they serve cats? No.
Where is this?
No, where is it? Is there one in Chicago?
I don't know the locations of them, but I know there is a couple like around the world.
We gotta.
Okay, I need to go find a Hedgehog cafe. No, I have never been to a Hedgehog cafe, and now I have a reason to go on living.
Absolutely.
I need to find a Hedgehog cafe.
It's gotta happen.
Thank you. That's great. Thank you. It was Cora, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Nice. Good question.
Yeah.
Now we all are like Googling Hedgehog cafe.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Hello.
Percy!
His actual name is not Percy.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
It's Percy Jackson.
Percy
Yeah,
Jackson,
yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
My name is Xander. My question is, have you ever met the voice actor of Tails in real life?
Yes, I have. Many times. Colleen O'Shaughnessy, Kate Higgins, we both worked together throughout the years. Colleen's great. I love always making fun of her. If we're ever at a con together, I always love making fun and saying that her character has two butts. And then she gets angry in Tails' voice and says, I don't have two tails, I don't have two butts. Like, you have two butts. Two tails, two butts. Definitely. Thank you, Xander. Great question.
We got time for one more question.
We can do it.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Erin. In honor of the name of the panel, I wanted to ask you both, who would win in a fight, Zelda or Sonic?
Here we go. Here we go. Paper, rock, scissors, paper, rock, scissors, paper, rock, scissors, paper, rock, scissors. Dance, 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 dance.
I can't!
Come, what do you mean you can't? Come on. Break it down like it was your birthday. Here we go. Here we go. Hey! Yo, oh, this just became a whole thing. Hold on, here we go. Maybe I'll come back up here and be like, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Patricia